We ended up sleeping here last night at the spring water fill-up spot, and it was a really peaceful night. Seems to be really popular with the locals because they've been coming here since 5 o'clock in the morning, filling up anything that they have in their vans and cars, any types of containers. Good to see that it gets used. Yesterday we drove from Hita down to Kawaura Yusui. Today we're going to explore the Oita area as we make our way across to the coast to the beach. Happy travels! I'm Matt.
And I'm Dylan.
And this is our road trip in a campervan through Kyushu, Japan. We're taking this converted Toyota Velfire
In search of adventure without a plan.
to discover and share new places to share with you guys.
Like and subscribe to follow our journey.
Around the corner from the water source, I was greeted by this little surprise, where all the town cats seemed to have gathered to enjoy the morning sunshine and relax together as a small group. People often ask me how I seem to find these cats in these random places. And there's a sad truth to it, where these cats have usually been left behind and create these little clans. This sign here says not to leave any garbage behind, but it also says not to forget your dogs or your cats. Don't forget them, make sure you take them with you. Kind of a strange thing to say, how you'd forget your animal. But people are leaving them behind in these places, so they no longer need to take care of them. There's a restaurant here with a few good-looking options on the menu. This is a restaurant where you catch your own fish and you can cook it yourself. You prepare it yourself and you cook it yourself. This is a super awesome find. This water slide. This is a water slide in the middle of this small little town that's in Kyushu. And this town decided they needed this huge slide. Starts all the way up here, ends down here. A big splash right next to this river. But it's so cool they decided to spend the money on this. Unfortunately, it's not running today, so I cannot use it, but I still feel the need that I have to go for a swim. They even have these lockers over this side here and a place to sit down and relax. And it's good to see that even in these quieter towns in the countryside, they still have these facilities for people to enjoy themselves and relax on hot summer's days like this. There are a lot of waterfalls all over Japan, but there's around this area particularly, they promote that they have a lot of waterfalls. So we decided to come to this particular waterfall. It's not too far from one of the most popular waterfalls in all of Kyushu, but we was recommended this by the guy at the cafe who made us the origami. So this is why we chose this one. And so far, since we parked here, it seems like it isn't used that much. There is actually a good parking facility at the top, but the trail is not that well kept. And we'll make our way down and see what it's like down here. But so far it feels nice. It's a nice atmosphere. common question I heard when I moved to Japan was, where do you prefer to swim? At the beach or in the river? And I was surprised to hear that most Japanese people would actually say in the river. Then after living here for a few years and understanding that the beach is really hot, and you come to these escape havens at the river where the water is cool and the breeze feels good, I really started to understand that places like this, are the perfect escape to cool down and relax during a hot summer's day. At that last stop at the waterfall, I ended up opening that QR code and looking at the Takeda information online guide made by the city, and this is how we ended up where we are now. Teranobu Fujimori is a renowned Japanese architect known for his imaginative use of natural materials and unconventional designs. One of his standout works is the Ramane Onsen in Oita Prefecture, where the building is crafted from wood, stone, and copper, with trees planted at the top of the roof. Inside, visitors enjoy a unique onsen experience as the carbonated water creates gentle bubbles that rise from the bath, making it feel like soaking in a natural soda spring. Fujimori might be best known for his flying mud house and whimsical tree houses near Suwa Lake in Nagano. But this one's truly special, as it blends this hot spring with beautiful architecture. Just a short walk away is the Shozenji River Hot Spring, an open-air bath formed directly within the riverbed where hot spring water flows from the earth and mixes with the cool river water, creating the perfect bathing temperature. Unlike a traditional hot spring, here you can experience soaking in nature, surrounded by the soothing sounds of the river and the beauty of the natural landscape. This area has been known for its hot springs for centuries, and there are some other hot springs to explore if you're sticking around.
There's so many abandoned cats we saw in the streets, and you can buy this in the supermarket, but you can also buy this in the convenience store, and they usually like this wet cat food that you can give as a treat. Yeah, it's really cheap. I think I got like 4 of these for only 130 yen.
And here comes another one. Uh-oh, this one's cute. Uh-oh, this one's gonna fight it. Ah. This one's desperate. Look at his poor eyes. You got a friend now. friendly, guys. Hello, little guys. Some territory things going on here. So desperate for something to eat. I don't want to upset these guys. I won't touch them. This one looks like it wants some affection as well as a bit of food. Obviously their priority is food. So the theme of the day has kind of been cats. In the start of the day, I mentioned that at that water source, there was on that sign for people to not leave behind. Be careful not to leave behind your dog or your cat. And it's a strange thing to say, right? Who's going to forget their dog or their cat? So it's kindly asking, don't abandon your animal here, which is a common problem in Japan. And I kind of talked about that once or twice on my Instagram on a couple of different posts, where in Japan, animals can sometimes be used as like an accessory, and people will buy them and not think too much about what's going to happen next. And if you think about it, a lot of people live in these small apartments where it's not really viable sometimes to have these cats. And I'm talking, when I say small apartments, like, you know, shoebox size apartments. It just leads to this dilemma of what to do with the cat. Or people move also a lot in Japan to get different jobs around the country, and it's not easy to rehome animals here. So they're kind of left commonly at temples or in public spaces, and people do take care of cats. It's just unfortunate that they don't have, these are domestic animals, they don't understand really how to survive, so they do cling to people, but they could have had traumatic events happen too. I have been out to one of the cat islands, one of the bigger ones, where I was really surprised and disappointed about how the condition that the cats were in, but at the same time, the people that lived there really took care of them as best that they could, with hundreds of cats.
Happy travels!
Stay tuned for the next day's adventures when we finally hit the coast and make it to the beach.